Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Simone here. So today I'm going to be doing a book haul, and it's not a library one. This is my first book haul, like proper book haul, in a really long time. I have actually accumulated a few books. I think I've got about 32. I may have miscalculated, but I think that's about how many. This is going to be a long video, so go get a snack, get a beverage, be alcoholic if you really wish. Depends when you're watching this. And yeah, I'm going to get into them. I won't be giving too much of an in-depth synopsis on each, just because there is so many, but I'll give you a general gist. So let's get started. So the first three books are bookshop books from James Patterson, who does some of my favourite series, and basically he has bookshops that go alongside those series a lot of the time, which are really short, like 100-page books that kind of, I guess they're like novellas, is that what they're called? So the first one I have is Detective Cross, which is from the Alex Cross series. This is about a bomb hoax, I believe. Then we have Private Gold, which, as you probably all know, is from the Private series, which I absolutely adore. This is kind of a private investigation story, I guess. And then the last one I have is The Verdict, which is from John Roscoe series, which I've never actually read. So it'll be interesting. I might read this and see what I think, and if I like it I'll pick up the other ones in the series. But yeah, I'll see how it goes. The next book I have is a really weird one, and it's not the cover that I was expecting to get of it. I saw this cover, I'll put it up here, on Amazon, and I was going to buy it. Well, I bought it, and then this cover came, which is a little bit strange. But anyway, it's called Geek Love, and it's by Catherine Dunn, and this is about a woman who works in she kind of is part of a carnival, and her act is to bite the heads off chickens. And then when she gets pregnant, she decides that the way to kind of make money, I suppose, and to entertain the carnival people is to essentially ply herself with drugs and barbiturates, and she like poisons herself. What else does she do? Oh, she douses herself with radiation and all these other things because she wants to create strange children. So she creates a limbless megalomaniac, musically gifted Siamese twins with a penchant for prostitution, and a strange telekinetic powers boy. And then it says that it's narrated by their sister, who is a bold, hunchbacked albino dwarf, which I think is going to be interesting. I've never really heard anyone talk about this book though, which maybe tells me something, but I'm going to read it and give it a go and tell you what I think. Then I have one I'm very excited about, and that is Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. As you probably know, I read Eleanor and Park, Carry On and Fangirl last year and really loved them, and so I really wanted to read one of her adult novels, and I believe this is this. This is about a main character named Lincoln who works in a place where basically he monitors the emails going on at the work computers, and so he kind of is monitoring the emails between Beth and Jennifer, and then he falls in love with one of them without actually meeting them. And this is supposed to be kind of love story before first sight, which I think is really interesting. I'm interested to find out how this goes. And yeah, I love Rainbow Rowell, so I really want to try some more of her books. So the next book is one I don't know too much about, but I bought this in a charity shop because it sounded interesting. And this is The Abortionist's Daughter by Elizabeth Hyde. And basically this follows a girl whose mother is found dead in her swimming pool one day, and her mother is basically works as an abortionist, kind of. And it's kind of who did it and everything like that. Now I love a thriller anyway, but I have an interesting kind of a thought about the whole abortion topic. I mean, I'm not going to get into my opinion on this channel. Personally, I'm pro-choice, but that's just an opinion. But I'm really interested to find out how they kind of put this into a murder mystery, because I know that some people have really strong opinions to the point where they probably would kill someone for it. So yeah, I'm really interested and I can't wait to read this. Then I have another James Patterson book, and this is Four Blind Mice by James Patterson. This is one of the Alex Cross novels. Alex Cross is the one that, is it Denzel Washington? Or is it Morgan Freeman. I get confused between the two. Morgan Freeman plays Alex Cross in I think it's Along Came a Spider and Kiss the Girls. It's the 2 films. And this basically is one of the ones in the series. I haven't read a lot of the series yet of Alex Cross. I've read a couple, so I'm not going to go into this too much. I'm going to guess this is number 4, but I could be wrong, of course. Actually, I don't think it is number 4. I think that's just the title. Let me see if I can find out. This is number 5 actually, which is quite ambiguous when it says 4 in the title. But anyway, yeah, I'm excited to read this and let you know what I think. Next up I have a massive book. This is about 800 pages, yeah, 900 pages actually, and this is called I Know This Much Is True by Wally Lamb. I bought this because I saw it on Pinterest and I was really interested. It's about a boy whose twin brother is paranoid schizophrenic, and it's about their lives together, and his brother does something that he then has to kind of deal with, and I'm not sure about anything else about it, but it sounded interesting. I've heard it's really, really good, and it's also a New York Times #1 bestseller, so I mean it's got to be good, right? I've never actually heard of Wally Lamb before, never read any of his books, or her books. I've never assumed, I shouldn't assume it's a man or a woman, I'm not sure. But I'm interested to read about this and I cannot wait. The next book that I bought this month is Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I read the first book in the Lunar Chronicles, which was Cinder. I haven't read the rest of the series, but I absolutely loved it and I really need to continue that series. But this is Marissa Meyer's next book, and this is about the Queen of Hearts before she became the Queen of Hearts. So it's about her lead up to how she, why she turned into the Queen of Hearts in the first place. And I've heard really good things about this. I love this cover as well. It's absolutely gorgeous, and even the back looks amazing. I really, really like this, and I just wanted it on my shelf, to be honest. And I really, really want to read it, so yeah. Then I have a book that my sister bought, and I don't know much about it, but yeah, so I'm going to read it at some point. And it is called The Replacement by Brenna Jovanoff. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And this basically is about a creature. Now I'm not sure if it's a vampire, because it doesn't actually say on the back, but I kind of get the feeling that it might be, so I could be wrong. Basically it's about a creature who was left in the place of in the crib of a, how old? Oh, a human baby 16 years before this, and then the replacement basically is when they take the baby out and they leave this creature behind. And so this Mackie Doyle is the replacement, and now he's kind of struggling 16 years on to live in the world that he is living in. And it sounds interesting. It's maybe not one I'll read immediately, but it does sound quite dark and mysterious, and it's also been blurbed by Maggie Stiefvater, who's one of my favourite authors. I loved her book Scorpio Races, so yeah, and I need to read The Raven Cycle as well. But yeah, I'm interested to read this one. Then I have a book that my dad gave me, and this is No Mercy by Colin Forbes. This is a murder mystery thing, I believe, and as far as I know, it's got something to do with like boats and freighters and cargo ships and things, and it's got something to do with murder, and I don't know anything more than that. I don't think I've read a Colin Forbes book before. I'm trying to remember. I recognise him, but I don't know whether I've maybe just owned his books before. I can't see any there, but yeah, this will be interesting. My dad always gives me the books he reads because we have quite similar tastes sometimes, so I'll be interested to see if we both agree on this one. Then I have a book that I'm really excited about. I loved the Twilight series, and I loved The Chemist by Stephenie Meyer, and then so I was like, well, there's only one book I haven't read from her and I needed to read it, and that is The Host by Stephenie Meyer. Now I'm going to be honest with you, I don't actually know what this is about. I have little to no clue. But it's Stephenie Meyer, and I love Stephenie Meyer. I think she's an amazing author. She has really good writing skills, and I know people have complaints about the Twilight series and everything, but I really love The Chemist. I thought that was amazing, and I've heard good things about this, so I'm going to read it and make up my own mind. Then I have the second and third books in the Throne of Glass series, which is Crown of Midnight and then Heir of Fire. I haven't read Throne of Glass yet, and in fact I'm planning on starting with Assassin's Blade fairly soon. I want to. I heard from Laura from Two Paper Girls, who I'll link below, that reading the Assassin's Blade first is better, even though it's novellas. I really, really want to do that. And I own the Assassin's Blade, and I also have the Throne of Glass, so I'm excited to read those. These two were both £1.50 each in the charity shop, which I thought was amazing, and they're in really good condition. I actually have this one, which is Heir of Fire, is actually signed by the author as well, which I'm quite, I'm going to find it, which I'm quite excited about. There we go. she has signed it, which is really exciting, and all for £1.50, which I thought was really good. These covers are absolutely gorgeous as well, and I absolutely cannot wait to start this series. Everybody is talking about these and I feel really behind on it, so I'm trying to catch up, and I have the next two so I can do that. And then I have books 2 and 3 in the Ugly series by Scott Westerfeld. So I have Pretties and then Specials. Again, I haven't read Uglies yet, but again I found these in the charity shop. These were £1 each. And I thought, well, and I actually have the same one from the set as well, of the Uglies. It's a green one. So I thought, well, I can't really pass up on this. I've heard really good things. I'm quite excited to read it. And yeah. Then I have a book I also got from my dad, and this is The Witness by Simon Koenig. I've read some Simon Koenig books before and really liked them. He kind of does like murder stories. This is about a woman named Jane Kinnear who sees her lover being murdered and then is taken to a safe house to be kind of kept a secret, and then the killer finds out where she is and is planning to kill her too. So I'm interested, I'm excited, and yeah, I can't wait for this. Then I have a book I'm super excited for, and this is The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks by Rebecca Skloot. And I read this, so I talked about this book on my blog post about non-fiction by female authors, I believe. And this basically is about the woman, she's a black lady, and her cancer cells were taken without her knowledge and used in kind of cancer research and things. And now 20 years after her death, there is her family learn about the fact that her cells were kind of taken, and this is about kind of who owns the stuff from our bodies are made of, and it's really interesting. I really can't wait to read this. I feel like this is going to be quite an important read, and I really love this cover too, so I'm quite excited for this. And this again is a New York Times bestseller, so I can't wait to find out more about her. Then I have the second Claire McIntosh book that I own, and this one is I See You. I also own I Let You Go, I think it's called. I've heard lots and lots of things about these. This is about a woman who finds her photo in the classified section of the newspaper, along with a telephone number but no other information. And she doesn't know why her photo is in the paper, she doesn't know kind of what it's connected with. And so it's her kind of investigating to find out why she's in the paper and what it's about. This again sounds interesting. I've heard the twist in this is really great, and I'm quite excited. I haven't read I Let You Go yet either, so I need to do that because I've heard they're both brilliant. Then I have 2 more James Patterson books. I have Don't Blink by James Patterson and Howard Ruffin, and then Burn by James Patterson and Michael Ledwidge. Now, I don't really know anything about the 2 of these, that's why I'm sort of talking about them together. I generally know that there's probably a murder involved because James Patterson likes to write about that, but other than that I really don't know anything else, but either way I'm excited to read both of them. Then I have a book that I think, unless I'm mistaken, that it was the Peruse Utopia book of the month for quite a long time ago, but I remember hearing about it then and really loving it, so if I can find the videos that they talked about it, I shall link it below. But basically this is Baby Doll by Holly Overton. It's about a girl who's been kept captive in this one room for 8 years, and then one day she realises the door is unlocked, and so she essentially runs away, and it's about her freedom and kind of how she deals with that, and I'm guessing he tries to find her. But I'm not entirely sure, but this sounds really interesting. I really love compelling thrillers, so I can't wait to read this. And again, this was a charity shop find and it was only £2, so I feel like I won. Then I have another YouTuber book. Now I know in my bookshelf tour, the second stack, I talked about Joey Graceffa's book and I wasn't very complimentary about him, which I feel a bit bad, but anyway. This one is by Tyler Oakley, and this is his book Binge. Now I love Tyler Oakley, but to be honest I don't watch his videos very often, only because they seem to get lost a lot in my sort of feed, because I don't watch them very often, so they don't kind of recommend them to me. But I do really enjoy Tyler Oakley's videos when I do watch them. I feel like he's very important in the LGBT kind of community, and he kind of brings a lot of attention to that. So, and also I love this cover. There's something about it which just makes me really smile, and the back is even funnier, so I love it. And I can't wait to read this because I think he's quite personable, so I'm interested to see what his writing style is like. Then I have 2 Agent 21 books by Chris Ryan. I have Agent 21, which I believe is the first one, and then Agent 21 Codebreaker. This is about a boy named Zach Dark, who is the 21st agent. Now, he doesn't know about what happened to the first 20, but basically he is highly trained in a government agency. And I believe the first one is about him actually becoming the agent and kind of finding out about it, and then the second one is he is trying to defuse a bomb, but time is running out. So yeah, I'm interested again. These are quite exciting. I've never read a Chris Ryan book about this type of thing. I've read his books about sort of military things, but I've never read one of the agent books, so I'm quite excited to start a new series. Then I've been on a bit of a Stephen King binge recently. I've read 5 of his books now, and this is the next one I plan on reading, and this is Cell by Stephen King, and I found this for £2 in a charity shop in Wales when we went to Wales at the beginning of July. This is how long ago this video should have gone up. These are 30 books I've had, but this does not mean I bought them all in the last month. I've had them like probably some of them 3 months. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. I haven't made this video before now. But basically this is about a virus that starts to go through mobile phones that basically turns people into like zombies, I guess. And it's about that. Now, this is the thing in my life that scares me the most in the whole world, that mobile phones will learn, or technology will essentially wipe us out. Which kind of terrifies me a little bit. So I'm interested. Again, this is a beautiful cover. I really like Stephen King books, and I'm very excited to have another one in my collection. Then I have a very exciting purchase. I have my first ever graphic novel purchase, which I'm very excited about. I've heard about graphic novels on so many people's channels that I felt like I needed to read one, because I've never read a graphic novel and I just want to read them. And so I picked The Wicked and the Divine by Gillian McKelvey and Wilson Cowles. I think I've said them right. And basically this is about the gods. Every 90 years, 12 gods return as young people. They are loved, they are hated. In 2 years, they are all dead. It's happening now, it's happening again. And I am so excited to read this. Again, I'll just flip through a minute. Some of the things in here are just gorgeous. And like I said, I've never read a graphic novel. I'm really interested to see if this is something I like or something I really don't, because I might hate this experience of reading. So I was recommended this particular graphic novel, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go and see what I think of it, and if I like reading graphic novels, because if I do, then obviously I will continue reading them. If not, no harm done, because this wasn't very expensive and I got this from Amazon, so I'm excited to read it and see what I think of graphic novels. Then I have A Killing Coast by Pauline Rosen, which is from the D.I. Andy Horton series. Now, this is about a murder where they find a body floating down in the sea, and then originally they think it's like an accidental death. It turns out it's not. And then D.I. Horton has to essentially prove himself, because he's being kind of downplayed in quite a big way. So again, this is one I'm quite excited about. It's not very long either. This is about 200 pages, so I feel like I'm going to be able to read this fairly quickly. And I've never read a Pauline Rosen book, so I'm quite interested to find out if I found a new author that I really enjoy. Then the last James Patterson book of this haul, and I promise I'm very, very sorry if you're bored and you've seen all the, read all the James Patterson books and you don't want to hear about them ever again. But this one is Cross the Line. Again, this is a Alex Cross book. Again, I don't know anything about it. Yeah. That's all I've got, really. I can't wait to read it. The next book I have is purely down to witty novels. I will link her channel below. She is obsessed with this book, and I was like, I really need to read this, because I've heard about it so many times to the point where now I don't even know what it's about, but I've heard about everyone in it. Why does my phone go off again? This is Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi, and I believe this is about a girl who basically has a poisonous touch. If she touches somebody, they die. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I'm quite excited to read it. I love the cover, and I feel like I will finally be able to appreciate where witty is coming from. Can't wait. The next one is probably the one I'm most excited about from this haul, and this is Wolf by Ryan Groudon. Now, this is basically a World War II kind of novel. It's about a world it's 10 years after the Second World War, and it's about a world where the Nazis won the war, and basically the main character, can I remember her name? Yael? I'm not sure how you say that, but basically she has entered a motorcycle race where basically if you win it you get the chance to meet Hitler, and she wants to win so that she can kill him. And this just sounds like all kinds of yes on my scale. Like, I have tick boxes and this has ticked them all. I'm so excited. I've never read a Ryan Browden book, but I feel like if I love this, which I'm almost 100% certain I will be continuing and reading pretty much everything she's written, so can't wait. And then the final book of this haul is one again I'm quite excited about. This is Girl Online Going Solo by Zoe Sugg, aka Zoella, one of my favourite YouTubers. And this is the third book in her Girl Online series. I've owned the first two already. So you have Girl Online and Girl Online... oh, what's the second one called? On Tour. Girl Online on Tour. This is the third one, like I said. I don't really want to read the back because I haven't actually read the second one yet. So I feel like it will spoil the second one for me. But I'm very excited. I love the colours and the covers, and it's a hardback, which I don't normally get, but again this was £1.50 in the charity shop and I just couldn't pass it up. So I feel like I've got quite a lot of books there, and I'm gonna have to try and pick them up in a minute to do a thumbnail. I might have to do that in 2 halves. There is no way I'm picking all of those up together. Anyway, I hope that you really like this video, guys. Let me know in the comments below which books you think I should read first and which books you bought this month. I'm always really interested to find out what people are reading, so let me know. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.